Well, greetings, everyone, and welcome to a truly fascinating online event today. It's called Explore Arcturian Wisdom. Connect with an advanced star lineage to understand the universal time matrix and anchor your light on Earth. My name is Stephen Dynam, the founder and president of the Shift Network. And for many decades, I was very curious about reports around extraterrestrial civilizations and learning tidbits here and there and talking to people with some direct experiences. And it was only last year that I really got the clear inner guidance that we needed to start offering programs exploring wisdom from different star lineages, since I really believe these are legitimate civilizations out there and that we can create bridges to them. And one of the most fascinating people I've spoken with is our featured faculty today. Her name is Viviane Chauvet. She is a founder of the Arcturian University, a cosmic teacher and an ambassador. And I think you're going to really find that she has a fascinating insights into how at least one of these civilizations can help us better live on Earth in a way that leads us to the brighter dawn of a new future that we're all working for. So, Viviane, thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I am so excited to be here with you and everyone at the Shift Network. It is truly a privilege to be here.
Great. Well, we're super excited. And I also want to let everyone know up front that we are going to have a brand new course with Vivian on Arcturian wisdom. And we'll share more about that towards the end of the hour if you want to go further into this potent work. So, Vivian, I would love to begin our time together with a little bit about your journey of awakening to the recognition of yourself, your lineage, and what your sort of true purpose here on Earth is.
I love the question and thank you for guiding us that way, Stephen, because my purpose first, representing a very ancient intergalactic civilization, is really to make contact with human being, is to understand how the human race has been shifting and embracing more and more new aspects of themselves. So my journey started even before my return to the planet, as I remember clearly being an Arcturian being and be selected if you want, or be asked by the Arcturian or Arcturus like council with our elders to see if I would agree to return to the solar system where the Earth is and be sent forth as an ambassador. And this is something I've done for thousands and thousands of years, of course, in my original form. But I find it fascinating to be able to understand, to feel, and embody a more of a specialized hybrid human form, and to really feel what it is like to be part of this beautiful race known as the human beings, how being on a planet, it feels like the ranges of emotions and intelligence, how to relate to each other, our senses, physicality, all of it. And so my journey has begun well beyond my return. And once I was on the planet, even as a child, I've always known who I am. So think of it this way for me is I'm looking through these eyes as a visitor, as someone who come to, make contact, to integrate, to feel with you, to go through the ups and downs, to laugh and cry and being able to guide and along the way. And it's always been part of my deep journey. And even in school, growing up as a young adult, I've always been in this constant fluid telepathic communications with my Arcturian delegation, because I do have a group assigned to me who are helping me through my earthly mission as an ambassador here. And of course, throughout day-to-day life, even through little decision of sometimes what colors to wear or how should I utilize, makeup or clothes, and how do I do my hair, and all these things that we take for granted here. But when you look at another species or a being or another consciousness to come here in this body, it may not be as evident. And I find it very fascinating, everything I have experienced, felt, and shared, not only with other people who are really expanding on their ability to feel and to start questioning that there's so much more to them, but also be able to share about my experience with other intergalactic groups who are also very involved and engaged with helping the spiritual growth of the planet and human beings. Beautiful group like the Andromedans or the High Council of Syrians, the Antares, those from the Venusian and those from Vega and many, many more. Of course, the Syrians, we cannot go without the Syrians. There's so many beautiful stars seen on the planet. And of course, representing an Arcturian being is to share our wisdom, to share our mastery, to be able to say, you know what, allow us to help you remember who you really are without a distortion, without solely identifying yourself to this 3D identity in all these trade and everything we absorb by either, going to school or lineages or upbringing, or depending on what part of the world you grew up into. And so we're here to really help you to guide the pathway, the path of least resistance to really rediscovering the magnitude of who are the human beings and your ability to for love, your ability for empathy, your ability to self-heal, your ability to be also cosmic teachers, and being able to lead this beautiful world into a reascending process. So in a
Hmm.
nutshell, this is really who I am. And so part of my journey as well, Stephen, is, I have delved into different trainings like, QHHD. I have explored deep level of mastery with Reiki or different form of advanced healing modalities, knowing that that will be the initial pathways for me to work with people, which I've done for 15 years. And then, of course, as my ambassadorial role was deepening and opening alongside with the consciousness of people opening themselves and be more receptive, then I step into the role of more cosmic teacher. And this is why I became the founder, or I was asked to found this beautiful university of great living knowledge of mastery of courses and how everything is really embedded with experiences, practical wisdom, because I'm a bridge. I'm really much a point of liaison between these advanced, enlightened intergalactic group energies or star brothers and sisters, and how the earth and human being are a part of this galactic community. So I am this direct point of liaison between the galactics here, speaking on behalf of human beings and being able to express in a palpable way the challenges we're facing here and what kind of direct assistance we need, what also opportunity can we co-create to really helping people to live more fulfilled life and disengage with, this shattering of the mind that is really counterpart of your nature as divine beings, as eternal beings in this human form. So I am just very much this bridge. So in a nutshell, I am here to help humanity to reclaim their complete spiritual sovereignty and remembering fully who you really are, just to make it simple and to feel the energy that we are exchanging with you right now. It's always an exchange of energy, presence, and frequencies. I hope you can feel that already.
Hmm. Well, you offer such a unique vantage point on our evolutionary process on Earth, and then thank you for incarnating here to sort of be part of it as well. Um, for folks who don't have as much background or understanding, I think it would be good to have some context about the Arcturian civilization. And as I understand, it's one of the older civilizations, ascended early and sort of acts almost like as a guiding influence for other civilizations that are sort of in their maturation process. But maybe share a little bit about, from your perspective, is about what makes the Arcturian particular lineage unique, and sort of what gifts it's bringing to us here on Earth now.
It's a fantastic question. So we know that because we're millions of years old, think of it this way: we have learned through multi stages of evolution through our civilizations. We have learned a great deal about past mistakes or how to utilize better your innate faculties to respect life, to understand that each civilization, because there's a multitude of them throughout the multiverses, different stages of conscious civilizations evolving at different pace, how you can be in harmony with them, how you can bring support to them without interfering into the soul lessons. And we have learned from, interacting with many other councils or civilization where we come and we bring assistance into the guidance and the teachings, but without enabling that beautiful, powerful breakthrough in awareness that allow to the pains and gains and all the lessons learned and the wisdom earned the opportunity to grow. So what makes us unique is that we come from a very different sphere of reality. We have the faculties to perceive a multitude of timelines unfolding all at once without being bound by the space-time continuum of that timeline. For example, here in this reality, the 3D matrix reality, we feel time. We meet, let's say, at 2 o'clock in Pacific time, and we have to catch a plane the next day. We are bound we're governed by time, linear time. There's a past, there's a present, there's a potential future, it's unknown, and we're living in the moment. So that linear time, it's designed to help everyone or every soul to understand what it feels like to be in a physical form. There's a density to it, there's a gravity to the planet, there's a way you used to live in certain structures, whether it's mindset, whether it's how you're perceiving your senses, what you can touch, feel, taste, how you can relate to each other, communications. So we have evolved beyond all of it. That means that the way we communicate is a very, very advanced level that we can see the potential of reintroducing that ability here. For example, being able to be in constant fluid state of soul exchange, or it's a form of empathic, telepathic communication. You can convey everything you want to say, to feel, the concept of everything, but through that beautiful exchange of thought forms or thought feelings. So these are very, how could I say that, basic and fundamental principle that we see the potential returning through to human beings, and we're helping to enhance or point in a direction, if you would, to reclaim that potential. So we have evolved over millions and millions of years of maturation, experiences, being able to redesign our structure, even to our society, that is based more to how we support the individual soul expression, but within the greatest good of the collective consciousness of our civilizations, as opposed to be fragmented with each other. You live here, this is my continent, this is a barrier, you live over there, and you're different from me because you speak different dialects. We have eliminated those boundaries. We no longer have these challenges, but we have learned from them. We have a very deep, long history, and it takes a lot of time to realize over time, what is it? What is your place in the universe? How can you be in constant harmonic cultivation with each other, and you can be of service to others, and how you can really master even your own soul qualities, your soul blueprint, who you are, and how you can expand even beyond frames of mental projection. So we have expanded our mental capacity in a way that I could easily talk about some of the knowledge we have, but it's still yet to be reintroduced in the field here. So we're only bringing what we feel it's bridging the next level of conscious movement that will help to trigger or ignite what's already encoded within human beings, whether it's the DNA, whether it's the next level of mental faculties, whether it's on a superconscious level, whether it's even in the body matrix, and your body template has also a lot of encoding there. So we are more ethereal than we are physical beings. So again, our physicality have also followed the pace of our evolution. So we are still have a physical body that we retain by choice, but it's never as dense or complicated as the human template is. So there's so many multifaceted of layer that we have understood, learn, integrate, and surpass in order to create those breakthroughs of conscious evolution. And you have to think about it's over millions of years. So we almost like the great diplomats and the multiverses, as we are very often time assigned by different council or galactic alliances network to different places. So when we see there's a potential of a huge growth or another expansion, oftentimes a group of Arcturians will be deployed there because we do have the architecture structure to understand what that level of evolution will be about and what measurement can we bring, but again, to support that growth as opposed to control it. That's very different for us.
Hmm. Well, I love the vision of this kind of evolutionary, advanced evolutionary SWAT team that's helping advise us on making this larger transition we're in. I want to get your perspective on this moment. I know you've talked with me in other conversations about there's sort of two timelines operative, and we're trying to move on to the higher timeline, which is in many ways what the Shift Network is all about. So, just share a little bit of your perspective on this moment on planet Earth, how we're outworking some of the old, and what's being seeded to ascend into a higher timeline for the future.
I love this because so many people have felt very distinct, palpable energetic shift on the planet, whether it's shifting in your sleep pattern, whether it's the diet that is shifting, whether it's change of thoughts, emotion, something feel like, we're moving into almost like a metamorphosis changes. It reminds me of the analogy of a butterfly, like going into from, a caterpillar moving into different stages of transformation that leads into the butterfly. So there's these timelines that we're in right now. The one that we are recognizing the most is called the middle timeline. It's a timeline where there's been a lot of different questioning. The last 5 years alone, people have been asking themselves, there's more to life. I feel a soul calling to be of service. I know I want to be a healer. I want to work with the grids of the planet. I feel a calling to maybe connect with my ancestors, or I remember the time of Atlantis or Lemuria, and all of these memories start to resurface on a conscious level. That is part of the play of the middle timeline, which is called the third dimensional reality. You are still in that dualistic energy, you're still in polarization, but there's point of awakening. So for those of you, people who feel that they identify as a star seed, or without having to use the word star seed, there is also a calling of understanding deeper universal connection or cosmic heritage or roots. And we start to see that more and more. So this is part of the awakening that's been taking place in the middle timeline. There's a rise also of acceleration in technology and all kind of domain. So this is the middle timeline. The other timeline, or the other branch that we are seeing that is also expanding more and more, is what we call the organic higher timeline for ascension. This is where very much where whatever you've learned at this level, you start to step out of the dualistic or polarized model of living. That means you start to feel less being prone or being on autopilot through mindsets. You start to be more mindful of your emotions. You start to feel desire to feel more quiet, connection with yourself, with nature, with Gaia, the planet, with others. There's a community more atmosphere. People want to return in that community synergy of relating to each other. And whether it's meditation, whether it's taking more, healing modalities, whether it's taking very advanced level of spiritual courses, and of course, how you live your life every day. So that higher timeline is guiding you as an invitation to shift and raise your vibration, and being able to start to feel that your frequencies start to get a little bit more unified. There's less stress or less anxiety, and you're less prone to be so easily distracted by everything going on. And you start to feel there's a unification taking place, a higher calling. And this is a raising in the frequencies. So that includes a multitude of shifts whether it's awareness, realizations, breakthroughs, connections, dreams become more active. And there's all these multi layers of shift taking place. And that it's feel that we're moving into the unified higher fifth dimensional timeline that's going to invite those who are ready, the souls who have this agreement that this is their time to reascend again, that naturally they feel more inclined to be in resonance or in alignment with. And this is part also of what we teach, is part of how we guide people in different, whether it's to this conversation, whether it's a meditation, whether it's experiential exercises, is to really feel honor that natural shift taking place for you and for those around you. And you can feel on the planet there is a how could I say that? There's a natural, almost like a mitosis process, like cells that divide themselves. You can tell that there's a release of the old 3D outdated way of living, and you start to feel a calling of feeling like I'm returning to being a more higher fifth dimensional being. And that helps you to anchor more light, to feel more authentic to yourself, to start to feel you're honoring who you are. There's self-love, self-respect, self-worth. Those are the key master elements that becomes a part of you. You become more integrated rather than divided. And that's part of just a little bit of the difference in between.
Hmm. I want to weave in this notion that we were going to focus on today of the universal time matrix and how that helps us understand how we are individually relating to this process of planetary kind of timeline shifting and how that can actually help empower our path into that higher timeline.
The universal time matrix is a beautiful, it's a map that helps people to start to gain a bigger picture of everything has been said, done, everything has been taught together. Think of it as the ultimate universal tree of life. So if you visualize this ultimate universal tree, which branches, connects every dimension, every star system, every particle of life, and how it relates to our own internal tree of life. It's a map of consciousness that helps us to realize who we are, rediscovering not only the earth origin in its true sense. We start to disengage from what has been either, out of alignment with ourselves, core values, different form of philosophies. You start to rediscovering truly your place and how you are an important part of this ultimate tree of life. And the universal time matrix is really has so many memories, imprint, rediscovering also part of past lives and how everything is really interconnected to you and how it can reflect in your day-to-day life, whether it's decision making, whether it's choices, whether it's having the courage, the strength to make new choices that feels more aligned, that really support your heart's desire to feel that you are living in more harmony with yourself and the entire universe, so to speak, and how your soul history, even on a multidimensional level, it's all tied up to it, and even your body reflect that universal tree of life. So we as the Arcturian and we felt that it was such an important topic to re-explore in a new sense of awareness of where we are today and how it's going to help to move us forward, to propel us into that higher timeline of I'm reclaiming my sovereignty and reclaiming my reascension. I am ready to return to be this divine unified being instead of being this fragmented 3D personality self.
What is the role of the earth in creating that bridge for ourselves to that higher soul matrix and universal time matrix? And I know that I understand that Arcturians are also use a different name for earth than we typically do. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yes, the one you call of the time or refer to as Mother Gaia. Gaia is the consciousness of this planet. So this planet is a living being. Now it's been recognized by many, even the indigenous tribe and people who are deeply engaged in the spiritual journey and the great works. So the earth herself is a conscious being, her consciousness, will be referred to Gaia, but through the galactic history or the great archives of the galactics, we recognize this planet as Terra or Mother Terra, depending on the level of perspective that we bring. So Terra, it's a planet who has a long time ago accepted to be this beautiful garden of diversity of life with so many different codes and of course genetic material. Gaia, I'm going to call her Gaia because I know many people can feel in their heart a connections to the very heart of the planet. Gaia has so graciously accepted to hold a more stepped down version of herself that we call the 3D Earth or the third dimensional version of the planet. That ties up with the middle timeline that we talked about earlier. So, how she's helping us, or Gaia is helping us, is that now Gaia is releasing that part of the 3D self and she starts to project her consciousness into this higher version of herself, we call the fifth dimensional Earth, or sometimes it is called the new Earth. And we hear that terms a lot, the new Earth, moving into that direction. So Gaia is really supporting those dimensional shift through the grids of the planet, the crystalline grids as well, the body ley lines of the planet that reflect into how our body ley lines respond to those shifts. So in other words, when we learn to connect even physically through the earth grids, we can bring in the nourishment and all the vibrational quality that we need to stabilize our body and helping our physical body to readjust to these dimensional and multidimensional changes. So it helps to lessen the physical symptoms, or we call ascension symptoms, whether it's emotional symptoms or mental ones. So Gaia is really supporting that huge transition. This is something that has been foreseen for a very, very long time. Again, this is part of our ability to monitor how the timeline of evolution, conscious evolution, all of this has been behaving for over generations. This is partially why so many old souls have returned now. This is a historical moment to be part of a planet that has sunk so deep into forgetfulness, density, polarization, duality, energy, and finally returning into embracing her original celestial self. And that's an invitation for all life on the planet. Human beings, animal kingdom, the tree nations, the guardians, the mineral kingdom, the elementals, everything. This is momentum.
Hmm.
This is part of what we hear as well.
Well, it's a truly eye-opening perspective on Gaia and our relationship with her as an evolving being herself.
Yes.
I want to give you some time now to take us in the experiential direction. I know you were going to lead us in a meditative journey to connect with the Arcturian Council and maybe share a little bit about how we do that from our human self and working with a higher vibrational lineage like the Arcturians.
With great pleasure. It always brings us so much joy to guide everyone through what's called our interdimensional gateway. So think of it this way. It's a beautiful gateway of light, almost like a spiral. It is put in place by the Arcturians because we also are, how could I say that? We are great architects of light frequencies and we're master at holographic technology. So what we do is that we create this gateway of light. And imagine for a moment, we're going to invite you, because it's an invitation to connect with us from the heart and take some deep breath. We're going to guide you through it. And then it's helping you to release the control of the 3D mind and to step into more your higher light consciousness. And we're going to guide you into shifting, to feel what it is like to shift and raising into frequencies, a multitude of frequencies. And of course, connecting you with our great Council of Light. And just to really share an essence of who we really are. Just the one thing we want to quickly mention before we do this experiential activation and journey is that think of us this way. Arcturians were like a projection of your future self. It is everything that you can embody. It is really much everything that the human race can achieve with practices, with willingness, with focal point, with empathy, you can really reach the point of where we are and even beyond. So we're really here as master guides with so much love, and we have also a lot of respect and gratitude to all of you for being boots on the ground and helping this planet in so many life forms to finally set themselves free and returning into that complete servant integrated self and on a divine level. So we're very grateful for you. And that's the point we want to make today. So that we have established that energy, we will invite you to remain in a sitting position, feet and legs on cross, and as well as your arms if you can, because we're opening the ley lines of the body. It is done with grace. And of course, we're going to invoke the protocol of light. So if you would please just close your eyes just for a moment. Take a moment to connect back and to bring all of your energy, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, and even physical energies back to your center. It is done through your intentions. And just feel that you are bringing all of your energy back to you. And now we invite you to feel that you are breathing a little deeper. Imagine your breath, your sacred breath of life, opening your lungs, allowing a greater flow of oxygen to come through your lungs, your bloodstream, helping to relax your muscles, relaxing your shoulders, your neck, helping to prepare your physical vessel to stay grounded in connections to the earth grids or Mother Gaia consciousness, to feel nurtured, balanced, and of course, sustained by the energy of the planet. And with the presence of the Arcturians, you will have guides assigned to you right now. We first establish a beautiful heart-based energy, a connection that comes from our heart energies to yours. This is what we call a soul essence exchange. Just keep breathing, let everything flow, allowing your body to be settled in with Gaia. And now just on the next breath, just see, feel, or experience that you are re-entering the gateway of your heart center. Within your heart, there's a chalice of light. This chalice holds the greatest seed of your divine spark. It is the essence of who you are truly. So we invite you to connect to that divine spark of light within the chalice of your heart. And remember to keep breathing and let everything flow. We're opening now a sacred quantum space. Quantum is the bridge that reminds all of us of our unity, that we all part of the great, supreme, divine source consciousness. And we ask to the protocol of light, and only that of the highest light is welcome in our sacred space and with each other, in the presence also of your higher self. Beautiful. And then on the next breath, imagine, feel, or simply allow yourself to expand into your lighter body consciousness. You are now pure consciousness. You may feel and see your Arcturian guides even more in the true essence. We project our holographic light body to be with you. It is our true essence. We're going to guide you now to the Arcturian interdimensional gateway of light. You may feel like a gentle spiral of pure light that helps to clear, cleanse, and purify any debris or any form of residue or imprints that comes from the third dimensional matrix reality. Whether it's excessive thoughts, fear, anchor points, anything that no longer serve your beautiful expansion. Just allow your light to expand more and more within a spiral of light, helping you to readjust the multidimensional shifts in frequencies, vibrations, light, and sound. And just keep breathing as we move forward, expanding more and more in light consciousness. Remember what it feels like to be pure consciousness. And as you keep expanding joyfully with the Arcturians, we're going to pass the energy of the fifth dimension, moving gently into the sixth dimension as a union point, meaning a unified point. And as we move past the sixth, we're going to move into the seventh dimension. The seventh dimension reflects more the true essence of our frequencies, helping you to get acquainted into your light body, to the high presence and the luminous presence of our Council of Light. The members of the Council of Light are among the most ancient beings in the multiverses, along with our elders. They greet you with love, with joy. They're happy to see you again, as we have seen and we have known many of you from different incarnations and different life cycles. And today we're here to help you on your journey to activate something profound and ancient in you, helping you to regain your true authentic self, helping you to clear, cleanse, and purify yourself from the energy and the experience of fear, doubt, unworthiness, and any other form of misaligned seeds within yourself. And the Council of Light, or the elders, will now give you or bestow upon you, if you accept, a beautiful pearl of light. This pearl is like a seed of light. It contains an aspect of the Arcturian light frequencies. Think of it as a seed of our core frequency. That seed of light, or that pearl of light, is designed to connect your third eye through your heart, helping you to reestablish this sacred interface of wisdom, new insights, unity, universal presence, clarity, and strength. And as you accept this gift from the Council of Light and the Arcturian elders, it is your guides who will help to integrate that pearl of Arcturian light into your third eye and your heart center. That pearl of light will continue to deepen and expand alongside your consciousness. And now that the pearl has been integrated, we also give you our love to you. Feel, allow yourself to remember and hold the frequencies that you have received today. And now your Arcturian guides will gently guide you back to the interdimensional gateway, as we're going to reintegrate again the multi-shifts in frequencies as we move now from the seventh dimension through a sixth dimension into a fifth dimension, point of integration. And the fifth dimension is also the gateway of connections to the earth plane, as we're going to gently reattune ourselves to reintegrate Mother Gaia And to feel that you are bringing forth your light body consciousness through your heart center back to your chalice of light. And let's just stay here for a moment into your chalice of light, still holding the Arcturian pearl of light. And we invite you to feel or to intend that your third eye is fully connected to your heart center, and your heart center connects fully to your solar plexus chakra, especially the middle point, which is the home of your core, your crystalline core. It is through your breath that we invite you to feel and experience this gentle and yet refreshing integration. And now let's take a deep breath in and release. And gently, as you are now fully integrated in full awareness, we invite you now to open your eyes. Welcome back, everyone. Yes, welcome back.
Thank you. That was a deep, deep journey for us. I want to ask a little bit about the dimensions. We were kind of going through different dimensions, and how does that people experience that and integrate that there's these different levels or dimensions to our consciousness that then bridge to Arcturians?
Absolutely. It's part of the universal time matrix. They're really all interconnected. Because if you look at what a dimension is really much of a vibrational shifts, where not only it's a vibrational shift in frequency, but also in consciousness. Let me give you an example, a practical example. When we start to realize something, whether it's, we read a book that really inspire you, or, you meditate and you start to get these beautiful higher experience, like you really felt it in your heart, you felt the presence of being of light, that creates naturally an invitation to open your field to those shifts. So it means that your body systems, your light body, your consciousness, your heart center, something all inside of you is readjusting, that led you to experience these interdimensional shifts. And it changes you. It allows you to feel that you're no longer the old version of yourself that you used to be, or you're no longer so much attached to some of these, traits or personality or these old mental thoughts. So this is how we explain even ascension. It's all about multi-dimensional shift in frequencies and awareness. So as you're expanding your consciousness and you're experiencing these dimensions, it's all interconnected.
Truly fascinating. I want to ask you one more question that I think is really important for us. That sometimes there's a tendency to think of ourselves as less than any other intergalactic species out there that are coming to us, and that we're sort of like stumbling through, and we're still pretty, you know, focused on war and combat each other. And so, like, I can be like, if I was an extraterrestrial, I wouldn't necessarily think humanity's ready for prime time here. But I know you have a much more uplifting vision of humanity and our potential role in the cosmos as well.
We really do. We perceive the human race as galactic royalty, and the reason why we say that is because if you were to really understand, truly understand, just the richness of all the galactic, cosmic origin, the encoded of information, imprints, knowledge that is at your disposal, just in the language of the DNA, you would really perceive yourself in a very different way. So for us in terms of the Arcturians and the enlightened intergalactic groups, and there are many others, we perceive you in your real light. We can feel your heart emanation. We can feel your light. We see you for who you are. We're not deceived by some of the 3D behavioral patterns or instinctual, reactiveness based on emotions or old wounds, or, and if you look at what the world looks like in terms of conflict and war, this is just the surface, what is really happening. It's something much more infinite, deeper. So you have to trust in the unfolding of this grand divine design that is taking place. And this is much, much bigger and larger than what any of the social media and news and any form of media network that is just broadcasting from a very one jaded and very dualistic radio station. So shift your radio station out of the AM frequency, so to speak, and start to tune in into a higher frequency. You're going to start to see, oh my goodness, I was so focused here, but now I'm reopening the spectrum of perspective to a brand new vision, and I start to understand how each component will really play a part. We are all interconnected. Without the human race, the multiverses is incomplete. The
Hmm.
universal time matrix is missing a branch. Would you say I value my middle finger over my pinky because of the name pinky? But if you cut it off, you're going to start to understand how important that pinky is for the rest of the functionality of your hand. Well, it's something very similar.
Hmm. I love that vision of how essential we are to the larger design and to trust in the unfolding of that, even while it seems sometimes like we're not doing terribly well in ascending to the next level. But I appreciate your wider vantage point and seeing that something deeper is unfolding all the time in that. So, Viviane, it's fascinating to talk to you. And
Thank you.
this is, I think, the third or fourth time that we've spoken. And each time
Yeah.
I feel like new insights are popping and new understandings of the cosmos kind of unfold. And also how really this shift on the planet Earth can unfold in a more harmonious way for all of us. So I want to spend some time now talking about your upcoming course, since it's a really unique opportunity to dive into the wisdom that you carry as an ambassador and to apply that in our daily lives in a way that really leads to upliftment, fulfillment, and greater consciousness. So Viviane has agreed to teach a brand new groundbreaking course for Shift. It's called Arcturian Wisdom. Connect to star ancestry and harmonize with the universal time matrix for higher guidance. You can find it at the URL arcturianwisdom.com, arcturianwisdom.com. It's a 7-week program. There are no prerequisites. It's just if you're curious and called and drawn by what Viviane's been sharing. So, Viviane, I'd love for you to share in your own words about some of what you intend for people to come away with from the program, and then we can go through the modules and give a tour of where you're going to be teaching.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I love how you present it. It is truly an opportunity. And if you look at the timeline of the course, it's really going to be a little bit closer to the winter solstice energy and carrying us through into the 2026 new gateway. So think of it this way. Imagine everyone, I'm inviting everyone to feel that way right now. Imagine where you are right now in your life. What aspect of yourself you are ready to have a deeper understanding with more love, with more wisdom to achieve this so attainable spiritual mastery and to reclaim the full spectrum of who you are and even being able to apply that every day, whether it's improving your communications, whether it's your children, loved ones, friends, colleague, whether it's with your higher self, opening a gateway that is so available to you. It's the way we bring our teaching is so accessible. It's going to be experiential. It's going to be an invitation to reflect, to even opening your field of intuition, whether it's automatic writing, whether it's being able to clear the old pathway and making more room to that new potential coming through. So there's to the module, we're going to really explore each aspect, almost like exploring aspect of this grand universal tree of life known as the universal time matrix, filled with frequencies of the Arcturians or wisdom or presence. It's an opportunity to feel and deepening your own intergalactic connections, even with your potentially your own star families, and being able to dive into a deeper understanding of how holographic, divine, present, and conscious the fabric of our reality is. This, nothing linear. We need to disengage now with, the narrative that keep us always stuck in the same vision. It's almost like the same loops or the same movie that is repeated back to you. We're going to disengage that and reconnect how we all fit with each other. And there's nothing too small, too big, or I feel, I see, or I am ready, or unprepared. It's an invitation to take into a multidimensional journey, and how this beautiful matrix of life has different aspects to this, and how we're going to take a deep dive, whether it's the fabric of sound and light, the Merkaba, whether it's the Arcturian quantum perspective, whether it's practical exercises, whether it's how to restore your consciousness, how to apply all of this from where you are now and how you will be. So, how you enter the course, it's going to be wonderful to watch your transformation
Hmm.
and how you expand from the course and even move beyond and continue to apply or integrate some of these techniques. And, whether it's awakening of knowledge in your field or opening some breakthroughs or higher moments, I can feel how it's re-exploring a brand new blueprint of life and how it is interconnected to that universal time matrix or that tree of life, and how we're going to explore these energetic layers together. So I'm really excited about this. I
Yeah.
very much look forward to it.
What an amazing opportunity. So let's take a tour of some of the highlights of the modules. So module one will go into live in deeper harmony with yourself and heal your past soul history by exploring the universal time matrix.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to really reestablish like what is that? What is this ultimate vibrational tree of life? How can it apply to you? And how we can really supporting you into redefining your perspective about yourself, your place in the universe, your place on this planet, how everything is really much on a quantum level intertwined, and there's a way to explore that deeper, and especially with the past soul history, because we are gaining more ability to remember these past soul memories and these knowledge, and how can we retrieve them and utilize them.
Module two then goes into cultivate a lived experience of how we're all connected on a quantum level through the framework of tree grid architecture.
We're going to explore a little bit about rediscovering the correlation between the tree of life and even the chakra system, and how the interdimensional part of the chakra system is also connected to the fabric of sound, light, and sacred geometry pattern. So it's really about the architecture of the tree of life and how it reflects into our own chakra system, intuitive centers, our psychic abilities, and how we can really go deeper into that interconnection. Imagine applying that knowledge every day in your life, and even to go deeper in your meditation.
Module three goes to shift from 3D to 5D universal consciousness so you can return to emotional equilibrium and realign with the soul of the planet.
It's going to be important moving forward to regain a much more conscious balance between a higher mental function and the emotional. So this way, it's helping to understand the mechanism of the 3D mental mind that is connected to the 3D matrix reality, and how can we release ourselves or understanding sometimes of these symptoms that we're experiencing, these shifts, feeling that there's nothing out of the ordinary, there's nothing a mystery. We're going to decode that shift, and we're going to help you to release some of the cognitive dissonance, sometimes we know a non-clarity or mental disconnect, confusion, and how we can rebalance ourselves to embrace this natural, organic, fifth dimensional changes.
Module four, reclaim guardian consciousness to remember your unique sacred role as a steward of our planet.
That's going to be important to understand that at the soul level, prior to your incarnation, you have agreed to be a conscious guardian for this planet. So it's moving into leadership in helping to release ourselves from the victimhood mentality, and being able to understand maybe some of the anchor points, even on the ancestral level, whether it's galactic memories. Many people have these ancient galactic memories in their field, and it's non-recognized, and how it influenced them. So we're going to do a very potent exercise to help to detach the 3D mind or the chattering of the mind, and how we can evolve and awakening that higher mind heart interface. And just to name a few points, they're going to be a really a beautiful one too, the guardianship.
Module 5 then goes into access your soul Akashic memory field to uncover the language of your soul and your higher calling.
We're going to dive a little bit deeper into totally the dream state and is the language of the subconscious mind and how the subconscious and the unconscious really influence what we call the logic conscious mind and tapping into the soul library of what we call the Akashic memory field. And that's going to be very an exciting one to be able to connect directly to your own soul Akashic library and being able to say, at this point, I'm going to determine what knowledge or abilities can I bring back in my life, my current lifetime, and being able to apply it, whether it's being a healer, whether it's to be an advanced teacher, whether it's, maybe some musical abilities you had in past life. So we're going to really tap into that Akashic soul memory field.
Module 6, harmonize healing, renewal, and multidimensional coherence using the Arcturian's quantum balance framework.
This is where you're going to experience firsthand the holographic technology of the Arcturian healing chambers. So we're going to really create a beautiful experience around this and really going to share some of our knowledge and understanding about how to maintain quantum balance, how to be able to step into more what's called harmonic vibration and how it's going to really supporting you on a psychic, spiritual, mental, and even astral level, and to return into sacred union with yourself and the entire universe. So we're kind of excited also about this one because this is where my team are going to be very present with everyone and to share our part of our knowledge with you.
And finally, Module 7, restore your higher consciousness when you align your soul's timeline with the profound core energy of Tara's living matrix.
Imagine being able to step into becoming a mastery of discernment and to step into that mastery of complete equilibrium, opening yourself to your empathic self, telepathic communications, being able to understand with discernment what has these shifted in the timelines, and that some of the history around Tara as we know her, how she became the new Earth and Mother Gaia, and how we're going to expand ourselves well beyond what we call the third dimensional personality matrix and stepping into more the soul matrix, which is also the fifth dimensional space. This is where everything comes together. Think of it as pulling all the tree. Everything comes together, formed together. And then beyond the seventh module, it's the embodiment of it and to be able to be everything that we've explored together, all these opportunity and all these energetic exchange you're going to receive and how you can embody all these aspects and moving forward in your life. I mean, the potential is huge. The doorway is completely open again and right perfect in the cosmic gateway of 2026.
Well, this course is clearly far more than just a course. It is a gateway into a whole different dimension of understanding of ourselves and the Earth and the larger galactic fabric that we're a part of. So, what an amazing offering. So again, there's more detail on the modules at arcturianwisdom.com. I'll share a little bit more about the course. So not only do you get the 7 90-minute live sessions with Viviane, which includes time to ask your questions live, you also get recordings of every session with video and audio, as well as word-for-word transcripts. There's weekly practices for home, and there's a community group to support you and deepen your experience. And Viviane has also added a number of extra bonuses that enhance your journey. There's two different parts of a what type of intuitive empath are you? These are two different video teachings that Viviane feels are very essential for this program. So, you want to share a little bit about those two bonuses?
Yes, thank you. I thought really it was perfect as a premise just to feel already vibrationally how to prepare yourself. And being an empath is something that's very innate, very naturally. How can we understand the ability to absorb other people's energies, being overwhelmed by these emotions, feelings that we feel, whether it's, our children, whether it's our spouse, whether it's everything we can feel going on in a global consciousness. So in this bonus, we explore a different type of empath, their ripple effects, and how to practically integrate the understanding of what empath and what level of empathic connections do you have naturally, and how to be able to balance that emotional absorption and still being able to stay connected intuitively to yourself and being able to spend the time with others without being a sponge. And I think that's going to be very important vibrationally to really enter into that one and to really feel like I already gaining that deeper love and deeper understanding of that really powerful gift. And to feel like imagining being able to rediscover that type of impact that I am and how that does it play a role in my life.
Mm.
And so I'm excited about this bonus. I think it was perfect in alignment with what we want to co-create with the 7-week course.
That's great. Well, both those parts are going to be really valuable. And then I also want to draw attention to there's one more bonus. It's a special bonus folks get when you sign up by midnight tonight. This is a video teaching from Viviane called the Prime Creator Guided Meditation. Viviane, want to share more about that special bonus today?
Think of it as a deep vitamin C for the soul. It's a complete return to source consciousness where we are guiding you with the Arcturian into a beautiful, higher, sacred space and helping you to elevate your consciousness to return into home energy to the prime creator, remembering that you are a child of the universe, being able to cleanse yourself, and just to feel the majestic presence, the omnipresence of the prime creator, and how the energy that you bring back into your body can also help you mentally, emotionally, to get more balance, to be physically more alert, to have more vitality. And it's really, you can feel already, it's a calling home. And we are really excited to guide you to this point of returning to source
Mm.
consciousness.
Well, what an amazing program, and you are just a revelation to listen to and receive the transmissions that you carry. Such great stuff. So, we've kept the investment for this program very accessible. It's just three payments of $128, or you save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start December 9th and run Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. But even if you can't make those live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings, the transcripts, and the community as well. There's some fantastic testimonials about Viviane and her teaching, and this it's a very comprehensive body of work that she's bringing through, and we're very blessed to receive it. So, if you feel called, again, all the details are at arcturianwisdom.com. I encourage you to read it through, tune in with your own knowing and body, and if you choose to move forward, do so today. And it's that you'll get the Prime Creator guided meditation for doing so. So, Viviane, what a fascinating hour. You are, yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of rewiring of concepts and beliefs about the nature of reality that you really bring through and connect us with these higher energetic frequency patterns. So, thank you. And anything still on your heart you want to share with folks who are considering doing the full course with you?
It is really a joy to be of service. I'm here fully to be boots on the ground with you to go through this reascension process together. So it is truly an invitation to go above and beyond what sometimes we think we are or what we can do or abilities. So it's really about saying yes and opening the field to embracing all that you are and start to really realize and think as a multidimensional being. And this is why I accepted this task or this opportunity when the Council of Light and the Arcturian elders asked me to return to the solar system, and this time as an ambassador. And it's a joy to walk the path with everyone every day. And Stephen, I want to thank you personally for holding a space with such presence, understanding, and you've been very gracious also to welcome us and opening your door to us. So we're very looking forward to imagining the immense potential we're about to co-create together. And it's time. We are ready more than it seems. We are ready. We have achieved that point. We're finally here. It is time to say yes to that ascension into returning into this beautiful, ascended, loving, and yet very powerful being that we are. And
Mm.
that includes all of you. So thank you so much.
Mhm. Well, thank you so much for everything you've shared today and for the beautiful mirror that you've offered for the galactic royalty that we are as human beings and the potential to really embody the majestic possibilities. So thank you, Viviane, and thank you all for joining. And if you'd like to go further, again, all the details are at arcturianwisdom.com. And you will get that special bonus if you sign up by midnight tonight, which is the Prime Creator Guided Meditation. So thank you so much. Many blessings.